What is going on, everybody? Thanks for checking out the video. Welcome back if you've seen them before. I got a few minutes here while my fiance takes the stepson to a football game, so I figured I'd get a quick video in for Friday evening, trying to do a better job of getting roughly one a day up. You know, I'll miss some days here and there, but definitely want to get a little better about it. So anyway, today's mail day is just going to be one card. I think on these older cards, I'm going to start separating these from like the one you might have watched last night that had multiple mail days in it. On these vintage ones, I want to take maybe a little more time and show them off and talk about why. So this is a one card mail day from a Facebook group I'm in that is solely devoted to tobacco cards. So I saw this card, and I already had a graded copy of it, but I wanted to pick up a raw copy, because if you watched my last T206 video, I talked about Richard in Canada, and he is a George Gibson collector. So it kind of turned me on. That's why I picked up the first Gibson, and that's why I also picked up this George Gibson. So it's a pretty good copy. Again, I'm no grading expert, but this might actually get more than a 1. It seems to be in pretty good shape to me. Piedmont 150, but that's the reason I picked it up, just because, you know, it was a good price, it was a fair price, and I liked, I picked it up, it was in an auction format. So I was pretty happy with that. So I figured, like I've been doing with the T206 cards, real quick, I will read you just his little blurb from the T206 collection, the players and their stories. Gibson, from what I understand, is probably one of those guys you would call the, he might have been in the Hall of Very Good. He was a top catcher in his day, but it was because of his defensive skills, not his offensive skills, and that may be why he is not in the Hall of Fame. So anyway, Canadian-born George Mooney Gibson had a distinguished career as a player and manager over a period of 21 years. He was only an average hitter, but he was a very good defensive catcher who developed young pitchers and was a workhorse behind the plate. During one stretch in 1909, he broke the record for catching consecutive games with 112. His streak finally ended at an amazing 140 games. Gibson was considered a field general by his teammates. After his playing days, he managed the Toronto Maple Leafs in the International League in 1919 before going back to Pittsburgh as manager. In the 1920s and 30s, as manager for both the Pirates and Cubs, he had some pretty good teams and ended 69 games over 500. Gibson became the first baseball player elected to the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, was named Canada's best ball player for the first half of the century, and was elected to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in 1987. So some of the other things on his bio up here, it looks like born July 22nd, 1880 in London, Ontario. Died January 25th, 1967, so 20 years before his induction into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Also passed away in London, Ontario. Batted right, threw right. Career batting average of .236, so that's probably holding him back. His career managerial record was .413 and .344. As a player, he played for the Pirates from 1905 to 1916, the New York Giants of the National League in 1917 and 18, and then was the Pirates manager from 20 to 22, the Cubs manager in 25, and then the Pirates manager again from 32 to 34. So, there you have it. Cannot say that I'm adding to my monster number here because I did have a copy of this card already, but I am happy to get another raw card to put into the binder, as if you've watched some of my previous videos, you've known that I've decided to binder the raw cards, even cards like my Christy Mathewson. It's just more of a pure collecting feel for me. It's just a personal choice. I'm not holding on to them. I'm not for investment. It's just for me. So, you know, what happens, happens. It's just my take on it, and that's what's great about our hobby. There are thousands of different ways you can collect and do your thing. So, that wrap it up. As you can see on the screen there, you can see my website, beansballcardblog.com. On Twitter, you can follow me at beansbcardblog. On Facebook, you can search Beans Ballcard Blog, and you can just follow me. And really all I post on there is just the items from my website. And if you happen to be watching this from my website, please go over to YouTube and give me a subscription at Beans Ballcard Blog, one word. And if you would be kind enough to also give me a like and maybe a comment, just of anything you want to say. I love reading comments. I love interacting. So anyway, hope everyone has a great Friday, a great weekend. Hope your college football team wins tomorrow. Your NFL team, I don't like the NFL, so I don't really care. So anyway, hope everyone has a great weekend. Happy collecting, y'all.